Hi there! This time I'll teach you this wonderful henna top. You can make it completely to your size, so it is suitable for everyone. And it is also very easy to make. I love the petrol color, but of course you can use any color you like. You can find a free written pattern on my blog, the link is in the description box below. The pattern is written in US terms and is worked in 2 pieces from the bottom up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more fun projects and you aren't subscribed yet, then do so by pressing the red subscribe button and the bell next to it. It is totally free. I like to read your comments, so if you want to share something nice, you can in the comment section down below. Enjoy watching! For this top I used 5 balls of Scheepjes Katona. It is a 100% mercerized cotton, 50 grams, 125 meters. The recommended hook size is 2.5 to 3.5 millimeters, but I'm going to use a 3.5 millimeter for the border and a 4 millimeter crochet hook for the top. The color is in petrol blue, and it isn't as nice on screen than it is in real life. So this is a fantastic, vibrant blue color with a little bit of sheen on it. It is an amazing color. So on screen it looks just blue, but in real life it is an amazing color. I used 5 balls of this yarn if you for size small to medium. If you have a bigger size, then pick a ball extra for every 2 sizes up. So small medium 5 balls, large to extra large 6 balls, to the 3XL 7 balls, and so. So let's begin. We start the pattern with some measurements. You can find this drawing on my blog, the link is in the description box. We start by measuring loosely around the widest part of your chest. Divide this number by 2 and write this number down at number 1. Then measure from your armpit to where you want your top to fall. Write this number down at number 2. Then measure from the top of your shoulder to where you want your top to fall and write this number down at number 3. We now have all the measurements to make your top. Let's begin. We start with a double crochet foundation chain as long as the width you wrote down at number 1. Make sure your chain is in multiples of 2. If you are new to crochet or you don't like to start with a double crochet foundation chain, then you can also start with a normal chain and work a row of double crochet on top. If you want to learn how to make a double crochet foundation chain, then you can click on the link in the description box or follow along with me. So we make a slip knot on our hook and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And I use the E3.5 millimeter crochet hook to make my foundation chain. Then yarn over, insert in the first chain you've made, yarn over, pull up a loop. Normally we would yarn over, pull through 2 loops and then yarn over, pull through the other 2 loops. But for the foundation chain we make a foundation chain at first and then we make the double crochet. So we yarn over, pull through 1. This is your chain. So I hold this chain between my fingers. I think that's the easiest way, but you can also put in a stitch marker so you can recognize this stitch. And you know where to insert your hook in the next stitch. So I hold this between my fingers, then yarn over and finish your normal double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see better. So yarn over, insert your hook under the 2 loops of the stitch you held between your fingers, then yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook. We now make a chain first and then finish your single crochet. So yarn over, pull through 1. This is your new chain. I hold this between my fingers, or you can put in a stitch marker, then yarn over and finish your normal double crochet. So yarn over, insert under the 2 loops of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. This is your new chain, so hold this chain and then finish your single crochet. Yarn over, insert under the 2 loops of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to make your chain, and then finish your double crochet. Yarn over, insert under the 2 loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2 to finish your normal double crochet. So let's do that one more time. Yarn over, and you see here the 2 loops of your chain. So insert under the 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to make a new chain, and then finish your double crochet. So this is your double crochet foundation chain. Make sure your chain is in multiples of 2, and as long as the width you wrote down at number 1. So keep working until your foundation chain is the width you wrote down at number 1 and is in multiples of 2, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, my foundation chain is the width I wrote down at number 1, and for me it is 84 foundation chain stitches. So I made 84 stitches, and now I have my bottom of the front panel. So I switch from my 3.5mm hook to a 4mm crochet hook to make the rest of the top. Okay, for row 1 we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. In every row we start with a chain 3, and this counts as our first double crochet. Then turn your work. This chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, so we skip this first stitch, and in the next stitch we make a double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert in the second stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, leave those 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over again, insert in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You now made a double crochet 2 together. Then chain 1. We make a double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You now finished your double crochet 2 together, and then a chain 1. Yarn over, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave those 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over, insert in the next, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, chain 1. Let's do that again. Yarn over, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You now finish your double crochet 2 together, and then make a chain 1. So this is your repeat for the whole row. So make a double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, and so on. So repeat this all the way across, and I'll meet you back when I'm at the end of this row. Okay, my row is almost done. I just need to make my last double crochet 2 together. Chain 1, and then in this last stitch, so on top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the previous row, the foundation chain, we make a normal double crochet on top of the chain 3 to finish our row. For row 2, we chain 3. That's the same in every row, and this chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. Then turn your work, and now we use this chain 1 spaces to insert our hook. So we don't use the stitches, but we use the chain 1 spaces. So yarn over, insert in the first chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, leave those 2 on your hook, yarn over, and insert in the next chain 1 space. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So we now made another double crochet 2 together, then chain 1. So that is the same, double crochet 2 together, chain 1, double crochet 2 together, chain 1, only now we insert in the chain 1 spaces. We start our next double crochet 2 together in the same chain 1 space as we used to finish the previous double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert in the same chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, chain 1. So yarn over, insert in the same chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the next chain 1 space, and finish your double crochet 2 together, chain 1, yarn over, insert in the same chain 1 space, yarn over, insert in the next chain 1 space, and finish your double crochet 2 together, and a chain 1. One more time, yarn over, insert in the same chain 1 space, yarn over, insert in the next chain 1 space, and finish your double crochet 2 together, chain 1. So in the same, in the next. So this is your repeat row. So row 2 is your repeat throughout the whole pattern. Just keep working, repeating row 2 until your work is the height you wrote down at number 2. And then I'll meet you back. My panel is the height I wrote down by number 2. So here is my foundation chain, and then this is the pattern until the height I wrote down at number 2. So before we start the neckline, we make the back panel. And the back panel is, let me show you, I already made that one as well, is the same as the front panel. So we have the foundation chain and exactly the same width, but the height is a little bit different because, let me show you, this on top is our front panel, And this is our back panel. And our back panel is 3 rows taller than our front panel. So you've made your front panel, now make the back panel exactly the same way as you did the front panel, but work up 3 rows extra. And then I'll meet you back. So if you worked 2 panels, the back panel 3 rows extra on top of the length from the front panel, and then it's time to start our, let me take my back panel out of the way, then it's time to start our V-neck. So this is our front panel. I put in my hook again, and then you need to find the middle of your piece. So you can count your stitches, and then exactly in the middle you can put in a stitch marker. I have 84 stitches, so I count 42 and then I'll put in my stitch marker. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 40, 42. So this is my middle. So now we start our neckline, and we make the left side first, and then we start our right side in. We make the same stitch pattern, so chain 3, turn your work, and then double crochet 2 together, chain 1, double crochet 2 together in the same stitch, and in the next stitch chain 1, double crochet 2 together in the same, and in the next chain 1. Okay, repeat this all the way until you are 1 V before the stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, I'll work my way back until I reach my stitch marker. I have 1 double crochet 2 together left, and then normally I would end with a normal double crochet. In this case we make our last double crochet 2 together, and that's the end of our row. So normally we would make a double crochet in the last stitch. In this case we don't make this stitch, so we decrease in this case. Okay, for the next row, normally we chain 3, turn our work. In this case we just chain 1, turn our work, and then we start our double crochet 2 together right away. So in the first chain 1 space, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the next chain 1 space, and finish your double crochet 2 together, then chain 1 and repeat your pattern to the end. Making just double crochet 2 together, chain 1, double crochet 2 together in the same stitch, and in the next stitch chain 1. So repeat this to the end, and then chain 3. So on the sides we make a chain 3, turn your work and work your way back, and if you are almost at the end, then I'll meet you back. Okay, I'm at the side again, and you need, I forgot to mention that you need to make a double crochet in the last stitch on this side. So on this side we make the last double crochet in the chain 3 from the previous row, and on this side we don't make that double crochet, so we just end with a double crochet 2 together, and here we end with a double crochet and a chain 3, then turn your work and work your way back until you are almost at the end, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, I'm close to the middle, so we need 2 more double crochet 2 together. So here, and one more here, and then it's time to turn our work again. So that's one, chain one, and then the last one in the same and in the next. So on this side we don't end with a double crochet, but we end with a double crochet 2 together, and then chain one, turn your work and work your way back. Here we end with a double crochet in the last stitch, chain 3, turn your work and work back. So repeat this until the total length of the top, so from the bottom to the top, measures 1 inch less than the number you wrote down at number 3. So 1 inch less than the number you wrote down at the number 3, and then I'll meet you back. My work is now 1 inch less than the length I wrote down at number 3. So now it's time to work our normal row, so without the decreases. So therefore we chain 3 on both sides again, then turn your work, and then just make your stitch pattern, double crochet 2 together and a chain 1 all the way across. And in the end we make 1 double crochet in the last stitch, then chain 3, turn your work and work the same way back. And now we end with a double crochet. So we no longer stop with a double crochet 2 together, but we make a double crochet 2 together, chain 1 and make a double crochet to end the row. So we stop decreasing. We do this 3 times. So 1, then back, and then 1 more. So we make 3 rows of normal stitching without decreasing, and that's about 1 inch. So then you meet the height you wrote down at number 3. So make 3 rows of double crochets 2 together, chain 1 without decreasing, and then I'll meet you back. So I made 3 rows of just working the stitch pattern without the decreasing, and now my front half is done. So now we make exactly the same on the other side. So you attach your yarn at the side, then work your way to the stitch marker and work a double crochet 2 together in the last 2 chain 1 spaces before the stitch marker, and then chain 1, turn your work back, and in the sides, on the sides we make a double crochet in the last stitch and a chain 3, turn your work, and in the middle we make we end the row with a double crochet 2 together and a chain 1, turn your work. So repeat the same steps as you did on this side. For the back it is a little bit different. For the back we work the same rows of decreasing, but we don't make the last 3 rows. So we keep decreasing until your work is the same length as you wrote down at number 3. Your work should be fine, and the width of the top should be the same on the front and the back, because you have on the front 3 normal rows on top, and on the back 3 rows extra on the body. So that should be fine. So work the other side of the front panel, then do the back panel, and leave those 3 rows behind. So don't make those 3 rows for the back panel. So the front and the back are the same length, and then I'll meet you back. I'm done with my front and back panel. I've made 4 pieces on top of the front and the back panel, 2 on the front and 2 on the back, and now I line them up on top of each other. So front panel on top of the back panel and right side in, so the wrong side is on the outside. There's not really a big difference between the two sides, but you can figure it out yourself and see which side you like the best, and then that side needs to be on the inside. First step is to close the shoulder seams. So I didn't bind off, so I turn my work, that's a bit easier, and then it's just insert in this first stitch and insert in the first stitch of the front panel and make a single crochet, or make a slip stitch, that's the same, you can choose what you prefer. Insert in the second stitch from the back panel and insert in the second stitch from the front panel and make a single crochet or a slip stitch. Why aren't you? Yes. Then in the third stitch from the front panel and make a finish your stitch. I have an end here, I can weave it in at the same time, or you can weave it in later if you have an end on top. So in the next stitch, in the next stitch, and make a single crochet. So finish your stitching, and then I'll meet you back when I close both of my shoulder seams. I'm almost done with my shoulder seams. I wanted to show you how you can sew the seams together, so as a third option. So you can make single crochets, slip stitches, or you use the mattress stitch, and I like to show you how. If you prefer this method, you know how to do that then. So from top to bottom through the stitch, and from top to bottom, and from bottom to top, sorry, through the opposite stitch. Bottom to top, through the stitch, from bottom to top through the opposite stitch. Through the stitch and through the opposite stitch. So you get a zigzag, and then every once in a while pull tight. So through the stitch, through the opposite stitch, through the stitch, through the opposite stitch. And then in the last, the top of the chain 3 and the top of the chain 3 on this side. Then pull tight, and I make a double knot to secure before I weave in this end. And this gives a flat seam. So you have the single crochet, then you have a thicker seam, then a slip stitch. It is a little bit thinner seam, and this is the most flat seam you can make. So now we have the seams closed, the shoulder seams, and now we move on to the side seams. So lay your work exactly on top of each other. You can put in stitch markers if you like, if you think that's easier. we leave about 4 to 5 inches space for the arm. So start at the bottom, use single crochet stitches, slip stitches or the mattress stitch to sew the sides and leave an opening on top for your arms of about 4 to 5 inches. And then do the same on the other side. So start at the bottom, make single crochet, slip stitches or the mattress stitch and leave an opening for 4 to 5 inches. And then I'll meet you back. Okay, my side seams are closed. Now we make a border around our neckline and around our sleeves. Or sleeves, arm opening. It's not really a sleeve. So we start with the neckline. Therefore, we turn our work right sides out. Like this. So this is our right side. And now we start making a round of just normal single crochet around the neckline. Start on the shoulder, make a slip knot, insert your hook near the shoulder seam, try to pick up 2 loops and not put your hook, insert your hook in the double crochet, around the double crochet, but then because you get a big gap, but insert it through the double crochet. So grab your slip knot, pull through, pull tight, chain 1. You now attach your yarn, and now we make a round of normal single crochets around the neckline. Insert your hook and the 2 loops in the double crochet and make a single crochet. And you need to eyeball it a little bit. You make 2 or 3 single crochet in every double crochet. Just eyeball it a little bit. If you need more stitches, make more. If you need less, make less. Your seam or your border needs to be nice and flat, and if it gets wavy, then you need to make less stitches. If it gets too tight, then make more stitches. So play with this a little bit so you can get the right amount of stitches. All the way around. So insert in the double crochets, not around, and make single crochets all the way around and eyeball how much you should make. So work your way around and then I'll meet you back. I finished my round of single crochet, so I can cut my yarn over, pull through and weave in this end. You can make another round of single crochet if you prefer. I like it the way it is. So do the same around the 2 armholes. So make a round of single crochet around the armholes, bind off, weave in your ends, and your henna top is done. So if you like this henna top, give me a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed yet, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.